Chitty bitty 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 bim bom bom. Chitty bitty 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 bom. Chitty bim bom 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 bom. Lo wir singen Kinderlacher, singen und zusammen. An Negendl, a Freilachen, mit Bertha Lachus Gramen. Die Mami kocht a Lokschensupp mit Kasche in mit Knädlach. Kinder jontiv pieren, weil wir spielen sich in Dreidlach. Chiribim, chiribom, chiribim bom 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 bom. Chiribim, chiribom, chiribim bom 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 bom. Chiribiri biri 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 bim bom bom. Chiribiri biri 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 bom. Chiribim bom 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 bom. Amul ist in the revenue gegangen hinterwegen. Mit Amul hebt uns die Pluchen in Gießen a Regen. Schreit der Rebbe zu der Chmare her auf Gießen Wasser. Seinen alle sie den Tricken a Reus, no der Rebbe ist a Reus a Nasser. Chiribim, chiribom, chiribim bom 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 bom. Chiribim, chiribom, chiribim bom 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 bom. Chiribiri biri 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 bim bom bom. Chiribiri biri 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 bom. Chiribim bom 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 bom. Men sucht das in den Städten hell im Leben nur nach Runem. Und wir sehen in die Kliege haben wir a schönem Punem. Die Helmer lachen, tuge Nacht, ze Loch ist die Gaslunem. Du sucht schiff, der ist narisch in der Sennen, die Chachunem. Chiribim, chiribom, chiribim bom 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 bom. Chiribim, chiribom, chiribim bom 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 bom. Chiribiri biri 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 bim bom bom. Chiribiri biri 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 bom. Chiribim bom 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 bom. Bim bom. Schois, reinen du Stiebel in den Wald der Reus. Hier in mein Ingel ist alles schön Eus, reinen du Stiebel in den Wald der Reus. Hier in mein Ingel ist alles schön Eus,
Hello, my name is Marcia Diaz and I'm a Humanities Bridge Advisor. Unfortunately, I couldn't join you today for the event, but I'm very excited to be sharing some information about the Humanities Edge and the work that we do. The Humanities Edge program is a partnership between Florida International University and Miami-Dade College that seeks to provide support for humanities students. It is sponsored by the Mellon Foundation, and it seeks to provide opportunities for students that help them, enrich their time at MDC, prepare to transfer to FIU, and gain the skills and experience necessary to join the workforce in the future. These include paid internships, research fellowships, mentorships, lectures, events such as the one that you're attending, the social events, conferences, and things of that nature. An exciting event program that we have coming up soon is the summer program. It'll be taking place the week of August 2nd. It'll be taking place at FIU, and it is the week that MDC doesn't have any courses, so it wouldn't be a conflict for you. It is open to MDC students that have 45 credits or more and that intend to transfer to FIU in either English, history, or art. It is a week-long program, but it is a paid opportunity. So students that complete the entire program will be receiving a stipend at the end. During the program, you get to hear from FIU faculty, alumni, prepare for the transfer process, hear about the opportunities that'll be waiting for you when you transfer, and so on. The application should be opening up relatively soon, hopefully by the end of this week or the beginning of next week. So you'll be getting some more information about that from us soon. So what's a bridge advisor? What can I help you with? So your MDC advisor is the expert on MDC requirements, whether you need to complete your AA, which courses you should be taking, and other requirements, that MDC has for you. I'm the expert on the transition process to FIU. So I can help you decide, what's a good fit major for you? What are the prerequisites for that major? Are there other application requirements? You have a portfolio or an audition or something of that sort. What are tracks, minors, and certificates? In general, my job is to help you transfer and make that transition as easy as possible. So any questions that you may have about the transfer process, be it from when do I submit my application to can I please get some help with my application, or getting in contact with somebody at FIU, I'll be happy to help you. Even if you're not completely sure that FIU is where you plan to transfer, our conversation could be for you to decide if FIU is a good institution for you. So if there's any questions at all that you may have about the transfer process, I'll be happy to help you with that. This is my contact information. As of right now, the best way to get in touch with me is through email. I'll reply as soon as possible. We're working remotely. Regularly, my office is at the Kendall campus in the Arts and Philosophy department, but I'm not there so far. I'm home. So you can reach out to me through email to schedule an appointment. Appointments are through both Zoom and phone at the moment. We don't have anything in person. And just let me know if you have any questions, be it about FIU programs or anything else that you think I can help you with. These are some other websites that I thought you may find helpful. You can find us on social media, on Facebook or Instagram. The humanitiesedge.fiu.edu website is probably the best source of information about the program. That's where you will find the internship applications and the application for the summer program that I mentioned earlier. Transfer.fiu.edu/bridge advisors is where you can schedule an appointment with me. You can scroll to the humanities, and under my name, there'll be a yellow Calendly link that you can click to make an appointment automatically. Other than that, that's everything I have for you today. I hope that you can find this information useful. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. I'll be happy to help with anything that I can. And other than that, please enjoy the program.
Hello, and welcome to Miami-Dade College Kendall campus's production of The Diary of Anne Frank. Our best advertisement is your word of mouth. If you enjoy the show, please tell your friends and share with them the link. The Diary of Anne Frank will perform Friday, April 16th at 10 a.m., and then again Friday, April 23rd at 10 a.m. and 8 p.m. Please use the survey link posted at the end of this show to share your feedback about this production. We will also have a special community forum that will give you a chance to ask questions of the cast and crew and special guests about the play. We look forward to hearing from you at our talkback on Wednesday, April 21st at 8 p.m. Please use the link on our electronic flyers and posters to join us then. This production is made possible by a generous grant from the Humanities Edge. If you'd like to donate to help our program, please contact the Kendall Campus Department of Performing Arts and Industries at 305-237-2282. Any amount is welcome and your generosity is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for coming and enjoy the show.
July 6, 1942. A few days ago, Father began to talk about going into hiding. He said it would be very hard for us to live cut off from the rest of the world. He sounded so serious I felt scared. Don't worry, Annika. We'll take care of everything. Just enjoy your carefree life while you can. Carefree? I was born in Frankfurt on June 12, 1929. Because we're Jewish, my father emigrated to Holland in 1933. He started a business, manufacturing products used to make jam, but Hitler invaded Holland on May 10th, 1940, a month before my 11th birthday. 5 days later, the Dutch surrendered, the Germans arrived, and trouble started for the Jews. Father was forced to give up his business. We couldn't use streetcars, couldn't go to the theater or movies anymore. We couldn't be out on the streets after 8 p.m. We couldn't even sit in our own gardens. We had to turn in our bicycles, no beaches, no swimming pools, no libraries. We couldn't even walk on the sunny side of the streets. My sister Margaret and I had to go to a Jewish school. Our identity cards were stamped with a big black J, and we had to wear the yellow star. But somehow life went on until yesterday, when we got a call-up notice from the SS. Margaret was ordered to report for work in Germany at the Westerbork transit camp. A call-up. Everyone knows what that means. At 5:30 this morning, we closed the door of our apartment behind us, 10 days earlier than my parents had planned. My cat was the only living creature I said goodbye to. The unmade beds, the breakfast things on the table all created the impression that we had left in a hurry. And our destination? We walked 2.5 miles in the pouring rain all the way to Father's office building. Our hiding place, the secret annex, is right behind it upstairs. Even though the Germans forced Father out, he still runs the office with Mr. Kraler and Meep, who've agreed to help us while we're in hiding.
Ah, Meep.
Mr. Frank, thank God you arrived safely.
Meep!
And, Margaret, Mrs. Frank, you must be exhausted. If only we'd known, we would have had it all ready for you.
You've done too much already, Meep. Besides, it's good for us to keep busy. As you can see, Anne's my little helper.
I can see that. Peter, come in.
Peter, the first to arrive. Welcome, Peter. Peter Van Daan, children.
Welcome to the annex.
Peter, Margaret, Anne. You know my wife, of course.
Forgive me, Peter. I'm not quite myself, but I'm so glad you'll be staying with us.
I am too.
A cat. He has a cat.
A black one.
We have a cat, too. I wanted to bring her, but I know our neighbors will take care of her till we come back. I don't know what I'll do without her, but it'll be great having a cat here. Won't it, Pim? Won't it be fantastic?
Anne, dear, don't get so excited. Peter doesn't know you yet.
He'll get to know me soon, though. It's going to be so much fun having people around, a whole other family. Won't it, Margaret?
Yes.
Like being on vacation in some strange pension or something. Romantic and dangerous at the same time.
What is it, Peter?
My parents, they were right behind me, one street away.
They'll be here.
You don't think they were?
Don't worry, Peter. You're just like me.
Mother's always jumping at every little thing. What's its name?
Mushi.
Mushi. I love cats. Where did you go to school?
They set up a technical school in someone's house once we were forbidden from going to
I just
school.
switched from my Montessori school to the Jewish Lyceum.
I know. I saw you.
You did?
See, what did I tell you? Now we're all here.
Just in time. We had to take the long way around. There were too many green police on the streets.
Welcome, Mrs. Van Daan. Mr. Van Daan. You know my wife, of course, and the children, too.
We must hurry. The workman will be here in half an hour.
Such trouble we're causing you, Mr. Kraler, after all you and me have done. And now we arrive early.
You couldn't let your daughter be taken away, Mr. Frank.
Please, don't worry. We will do everything we can to help you. Now I must run and get your ration books.
Wait, if they see our name on the ration books, they'll know we're here, won't they?
Trust me, your names won't be on them. I'll be up later. If you make a list every day, I'll try and get what you want. And every Saturday, I can bring 5 library books.
Thank you, Meep.
5! I know what my 5 are going to be.
And dear, remember there are 7 of us.
I know, Mother.
It's illegal then, the ration books. We've never done anything illegal before.
I don't think we'll be living exactly according to regulations here.
Listen, the Wester Torin.
How will I get used to that clock?
Oh, I love it.
Meep or I will be here every day to see you. I fitted the buzzer to signal you every time we come up. And tomorrow I'll have that bookcase placed in front of your door. Oh, and one last thing. The radio.
A radio? Fantastic.
A radio, thank God.
How did you get it? We had to turn hours in months ago.
Thank you, Mr. Kraler, for everything.
Oh, you told them about the noise.
Oh, I'll tell them, yes.
How can we thank you? Really, how can we ever
Well,
thank
the
you?
day that I saw a man like Mr. Frank would have to go into hiding.
What a journey. It's a wonder we weren't arrested. Petronella walking down the streets wearing a fur coat, carrying a hat box in the middle of summer.
What do you need another hat for?
Not another hat. It's...
Oh.
Just don't feel at home without my chamber pot.
Now, everyone, a few things, quickly. We have to get organized before 8. And sit down, please. Listen, first about the noise. While the workmen are in the building from 8 to 6, we must keep completely quiet. So no shoes, please. And move only when absolutely necessary. We can't run any water. We can't use the toilet in the WC. Those pipes go down through the warehouse, and every sound can be heard.
Only one bathroom for all of us?
Yes. And no trash can ever be thrown out. Not even a potato peel. We'll burn everything in the stove at night. We can't go outside, of course. We can't even look out a window. No coughing. If possible, no fevers. Remember, we can never call a doctor. This is the way we must live until it is over. But after 6, we can talk, laugh, play games, move around, just as we would at home. This will be our common room, the place we meet to have family, the place we meet to have supper as a family.
Good family, I love that.
Now I think it's time you better get settled in. As Mr. Van Daan and I discussed, this floor will be the Van Daan home, the lower floor the Frank home. I know your space is tiny, Peter, but you'll be near your parents. Actually, about that. Though it could work. Even though Peter's room is tiny, he will be near his parents. So,
What about Mushi?
well, it will work, trust me. But anyway.
We'll have rats.
Rats? Oh my God.
I'm sure Mushi can take care of a few rats.
Now, may I help you with your things?
No, thank you. Come, Petronella, let's go upstairs and bring our dishes down. Our boxes are up there in the attic.
Never, never can we thank you, Mr. Frank. I don't know where we'd be if it wasn't for you.
Listen, you have no idea how your husband helped me when I first came to Amsterdam. knowing no one, unable to speak the language. I can never repay him for that. Besides, he's been an excellent business partner.
Well, that's true.
Not a tot.
If you take that precious coat off for just 1 minute, you'd be a lot cooler.
You rest, Edith. You haven't closed your eyes since yesterday. Nor you, Margaret.
I slept well. Isn't that funny? Even though I knew it would be the last night in my own bed.
Now you can sleep through anything. Don't forget to take your shoes off. You too, Peter. Shoes.
You're sure you're not too tired, Annika?
Mother, please, I'm fine. Hey, what are you doing?
Taking it off?
You can't do that. They'll arrest you if you go out without your star.
Who's going out? Now I don't have to be branded.
You're right. We don't need it anymore. Remember when it started? People tried to look the other way, but somehow their eyes always landed right there. Why they're so so tight.
The day they made us wear the star was the worst day of my life.
Look, it left a mark. Do you know Hattie Gosler?
No,
Dopey Duvall?
never heard of her.
But you heard of me.
Well, my father is your father's business partner.
You heard of me. You heard of me. I'm famous at my school.
That's true in a way.
What do you mean?
And you mustn't bother Peter.
I'm not bothering him. Mushy, mushy, mushy.
Tonight we'll be having our first real supper here together.
Thank you.
He's awfully shy.
You'll like him. And I know.
Better. He's the only boy I'm going to see for a while. Him, my movie stars. You remembered. I'm going to put them right up. Wait, where's my diary? Uh-oh. I forgot to pack my pencils.
Anne, no! Weren't you listening to me? You can't go down those stairs.
It was only for a second.
Never, Anne. This is what going into hiding means. This is what I was talking about. One mistake could cost all of us our lives.
I know, Father.
But remember, every day Meep and Mr. Kraler will bring us food, books, their precious company. That's rare these days, Anne. They're friends. If the Nazis ever found out they were hiding us, they'd be deported too.
Your fountain.
You're a fountain pen now.
Oh, Pim. Pim, what a darling you are.
All these bags of beans and potatoes. Is that what we're going to be eating every night? How much variety is there?
Don't listen to her. What she can do with beans and potatoes. My wife's a great cook.
Lucky for us.
Even with beans, you'll see. Oh, am I gonna miss those gourmet meals?
Oh, buddy, stop exaggerating.
The women seem content, don't they?
You can never really tell with women, but I think we'll be all right.
Good. Now, Mrs. Van Daan, we'll meet up here at 6 and start preparing supper.
6 o'clock, yes.
Come away from the kitchen, Petronella. The workman will be here any moment.
Maybe it was a mistake, Otto. All of us going into hiding with each other. They say it's better for families to separate that way. If we're betrayed, caught, at least the children will have some kind of...
It's a safe place. The children would never have understood if we had separated. We couldn't have borne it. No more than we. Come, we must be quiet now.
Margaret, are you all right?
I'm still shaking. Feel my hands.
Don't worry. We're here now. They can't take you away.
Yes, we're here.
Dass ich nicht in diesen Jahren für dich eingesetzt habe, dass ich anständig meine Zeit verwendet habe im Dienste meines Volkes. Gib du jetzt deine Stimme ab. Wenn ja,
It's the silence that frightens me most. Every time I hear a creak in the house or a step on the street, I'm sure they're coming for us. I wander from room to room, feeling like a songbird whose wings have been ripped off and keeps hurling itself against the bars of its dark cage. Let me out where there's fresh air and laughter. Then I remember the Jews who are not in hiding. I know we live in a paradise. We're as quiet as baby mice. Who would have dreamed 2 months ago that Quicksilver Anne would have to sit still for hours, and what's more, could. At last.
What are you writing about that's so funny? Nothing about me, I hope. Can I take a peek?
No, Mrs. Van Daan.
Not even a little peek?
Not even a little peek, Mrs. Van Daan.
All right, fine.
I'm next for the WC.
No, I am. It's an emergency.
Has anyone seen my shoes?
Shoes?
You took them, didn't you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're going to be sorry.
Am I?
Absolutely.
And
wait till I get you.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Here.
Peter.
You're strong, but you won't get them away from me.
And
I was so strong, did you? Uh-oh. I'm making you mad. You're really getting mad now, aren't you? Come on, Peter, dance with me.
I don't know how.
I'll teach you.
I don't want any lessons.
Please?
I have to give Mushi his dinner.
Can I watch?
He doesn't like people around when he eats.
I'll be quiet. Quiet as a little mouse. He likes mice, doesn't he?
No!
Anne, I don't think you should play with Peter like that. It isn't dignified.
Who cares if it's dignified? I don't want to be dignified.
You complain I don't treat you like a grown-up, but when I do, you just resent it.
I just want to have some fun. What's wrong with that boy?
He's not used to girls, Annika. Especially one like you. Give him time.
How much time do you need? Come on, Margaret, you dance with me.
I have to help with supper.
Come on, if we don't practice, we'll forget how.
All right, all right.
See, everyone? Margaret's the real dancer in the family. Him.
Ah, dancing. Where's Peter?
In his room.
His father will kill him if he sees him with that cat again. Anne, darling, can you do me a favor and get Peter from his room? Come, Mr. Frank, dance with me.
Peter. Oh, Peter.
What is it?
Your mother says to come out.
You know what your father says.
I'll feed Mushi.
All right, but just give him his dinner and come right out.
Is that any way to talk to your little girlfriend?
Mother, for heaven's sake.
Oh, look, he's blushing.
You're crazy. She's only 13.
So, you're 16. Your father was a lot older than I am. I tell you, Mr. Frank, if we're here much longer, we might be related. Oh, look, I have a run in my stocking here.
Some run.
I hate them.
Evening, everyone. I wish I could stay for dinner, but I have no social graces. In fact, I'm so shy I can barely get a word out of
All
me.
right, I heard about you. How you talk so much in class, Mr. Keesing called you Miss Quack Quack and made you write a composition? Quack, 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 said Miss Quack Quack.
Well, go on. Tell them the rest. How it was so good. He read it out loud to the class and then read it to all his other classes.
I know about you, always joking.
I don't always joke.
Always making fun of people. Quack, quack, quack.
I don't always. You're the most infuriating boy I've ever met.
You tell him, man.
With all the boys in the world, I had to get locked up with...
Quack, 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 and from now on, stay out of my room.
Anne.
Anne, excellent in history and in Latin.
It's not here yet?
The workman left just a little while ago.
Huh. What's for dinner?
Beans.
Ken? I saw you in there playing with that cat.
He was just in there for a minute. He's been out here all afternoon working on his French.
Really?
How did I do in algebra?
I think we both better give up on algebra.
How did I do?
How do you always do? Brilliant.
Good. So you might have used the subjunctive here.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Mrs. Van Dan, may I try on your coat?
Of course you may. My father gave me this coat a year before he died. He always bought the best money could buy.
You have a lot of boyfriends before you were married?
And it isn't courteous to ask personal questions.
Why not? I had a throng of admirers who couldn't take their eyes off me.
When I was 16, we had a big house in Bremerhaven. All the boys were swarming around. I remember the summer I was 15.
Oh, God. Here we go again.
Who's talking to you? Our house was always buzzing with boys. They came swarming like bees around a honey pot. My father was always worried about those boys. He said if they ever get fresh to tell them, remember Mr. So-and-so, remember, I'm a lady.
Remember, Mr. So-and-so, remember, I'm a lady.
Very good. All right, that's enough. Take off the coat.
What have you got to write about that's so important all the time? What could a 13-year-old possibly have to say?
Just because someone is young doesn't mean they don't have anything to say, Mr. Van Dan.
Please, can't I have any privacy?
Petronella, can you please tell me what could possibly be so private?
Oh, you know how it is at that age, Putty. Everything's a secret. Even brushing your teeth.
I just hope she doesn't write anything about me in that diary of hers.
Don't be ridiculous, Putty. God, you can be so childish sometimes.
Shouldn't you be finished with your French? You ought to be ashamed.
No, I know I'm a hopeless case.
You are not hopeless. He is not hopeless. He just doesn't have anyone to help him like the girls do. Maybe you can help him, Mr. Frank.
Oh, I'm sure his father can help him.
No, not me. He won't listen to me.
Well, what do you say, Peter?
Oh, Mr. Frank, you're an angel. No, too bad I didn't meet you before I met that one over there.
Peter, why don't you show me which chapter you're on?
You listen to Mr. Frank, Peter. Mr. Frank is a highly educated man.
Aren't things hard enough around here without you sprawling all over the place?
Maybe if you didn't smoke so much, you wouldn't be so ill-tempered.
Does it look like I'm smoking?
Don't tell me you smoked up those cigarettes again.
One package. Meep only brought me one package.
Oh, it's a filthy habit. It's a good time to quit.
Stop it.
You know you're smoking up all our money, don't you?
Will you shut up? What are you looking at?
I've never heard grown-ups quarrel like that before. I thought only children quarreled, and it wore off when you grew up.
This isn't a quarrel. It's a discussion. And I've never heard children so rude before.
I rude? I don't know.
And dear, would you bring me my knitting, please? I must remember to ask Meep to bring some more wool.
I have a library book for her to return, and I need some hairpins and some soap.
Please, Meep, get me some starch, some tea, some biscuits, a movie star magazine. Tell us all the latest news, Meep. It's a wonder Meep has a life of her own. Did you know she's engaged to someone called Jan? She's crazy about him, but she's terrified that the Nazis will send him to Germany to work in a war plant. That's what they're doing with all the young Dutchmen these days. You pick them up in the street and we...
Will you please just stay still for just 5 minutes?
Anne, come have your milk.
Talk. Chatter. It's a wonder we haven't been discovered and shot. Why can't you just stop showing off all the time? Why can't you just be quiet and be a good girl like your sister Margaret?
Not me. I'm going to be remarkable. I'm going to Paris.
Really?
I'm going to be a famous writer or singer or dancer one day.
Oh my God, my coat! My beautiful coat! Look at it!
I'm sorry.
Do you know how much my father paid for this coat?
I'm
I'll
very...
kill you for this.
Petronella.
Anne, you can't behave like that.
It was an accident. Anyone can have an accident.
I'm not just talking about the coat. I know we're all living under great stress, but you don't hear Margaret getting into arguments with the Van Dans, do you?
Margaret is perfect. She never gets into an argument with anyone.
I'm not perfect.
She's courteous. She keeps her distance and they respect her for it. Try to be more like Margaret.
And have them walk over me too? No thanks.
They don't walk over me.
Oh, yes, they do. All over you.
I'm not afraid they're going to walk over you, Anne. I'm afraid you're going to walk all over them. I don't know what happens to you. If I ever talk to my mother the way that you talk to me.
No, Mother. Anything you say, Mother. People aren't like that anymore. I can't do everything for you.
Margaret doesn't do everything.
Margaret, that's all I ever hear.
Oh, Anne, don't be so dramatic.
Everything she does is right, and everything I do is wrong. I talk, I'm a show-off. I answer, I'm rude. I'm selfish if I eat too much. I'm stupid. I'm cowardly. I'm a complete disappointment. I'll never live up to your expectations. I'll never be Margaret.
I don't know how we can go on living like this.
You know, Anne, in a few minutes she'll be laughing and joking again.
No room, no privacy for any of us. Oh, those people, the way they behave. And your father chooses to shut his eyes to these things. I can't even remember how life used to be. Meep.
It's Meep.
Meep, our darling Meep.
At last.
Does everyone have their list?
I have.
Now you'll have your library books, my darling. Meep never fails us, does she?
Oh, that air. What's it like, Meep? Outside?
How are you, Mr. Kraler?
Where did you go today? Who did you see? Did anyone interesting come into the office?
When Meep comes, the sun begins to shine.
We missed you yesterday, Mr. Kraler.
Tell us everything, Meep. We want to know.
Won't you stay for supper?
Thank you, but there's something that we need to talk over with you. Something that has to be decided immediately.
Oh, what is it, Mr. Kraler?
Every time we come, we try to bring a bit of good news. Up here, you can't realize how dangerous things have become outside.
There's a dentist, Alfred Dussel. He's Jewish. He's been living with a Christian woman, but today he asked if I knew of a hiding place for him. He's desperate for a safe address. I promised I would let him know.
Of course, Meep. Absolutely. Do so. You know, I believe we know him.
That's great news, Meep.
Yes, but where is he going to stay? There's barely enough room.
Forgive me, I spoke without consulting you.
No, you're right. It's just, there's so little food.
Mr. Van Daan, I've tried. There are no more ration books to be had.
Where 7 can eat, 8 can eat as well.
I hope so.
Even if we can save one person, we must.
You're right, of course.
Yes, definitely.
Mr. Kraler will go to meet him. I'll bring him up.
Tomorrow.
Thank you.
It's fine, but where would we put him?
He can have my bed. I'll sleep on the floor.
That's very kind of you, Peter, but there's hardly enough room in there for, even for yourself.
I know. I can move in with you and Mother, and Mr. Dussel can have my bed.
No. Margaret will move in with us, and Mr. Dussel can have her bed. It's the only way.
But why? Why can't I move in?
Because it wouldn't be proper for Margaret to... And please don't argue. It's settled.
As far as I'm concerned, Mother can go jump in a lake. I don't know why I've taken such a terrible dislike to her, but I can imagine her dying someday. Well, Daddy's death seems inconceivable to me. It's very mean of me, I know, but I can't help the way I feel. I hope Mother never reads this, or anything else I've written. She's not a mother to me. I have to mother myself. If only Nana were here. She always stuck up for me. Who can I turn to for comfort now? Only my diary. Sometimes I think God is trying to test me. I'll have to become a good person on my own without anyone to advise me. But it'll make me stronger in the end. 3.5 months at the annex, and we're eagerly awaiting our latest addition. What will he be like? Meep says he's quiet, refined, and by all accounts, an excellent dentist. He's meeting Mr. Kraler at 11 sharp this morning in a certain place in front of the post office. It's all very exciting and totally nerve-wracking. What if they get caught? Those last few hours on the way to safety are the most dangerous for a Jew going into hiding.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's done.
Everything went smoothly. Mr. Dussel was at the appointed place at the appointed time. He had to wear Jan's coat over his office jacket so no one would see the yellow star when he walked into our building. He was amazed to be brought to the center of Amsterdam rather than into the country where so many hiding places are. Of course, he had no idea we were right upstairs, waiting for him.
I'm dreaming. Mr. Frank? Mr. Otto Frank? I heard you were in Switzerland. A patient of mine told me you escaped to Basel or Belgium or someplace.
Well, that's what everyone thinks. The Nazis included, we hope.
We tricked them.
We're so glad you've come, Mr. Dussel.
Yes.
How can I thank you all?
Us, Meep and Mr. Kraler.
And without them, we couldn't live.
Aren't you scared, Meep, sometimes?
We're not heroes.
Meep, you're much too modest.
We just don't like the Nazis, anything about them.
Come, Mr. Dussel, please sit. You must be worn out.
Why don't we have a toast to Mr. Dussel?
Yak, we were saved from getting case of illness, but I guess we can have it now.
Well, what better way to use it? To Mr. Dussel. We're honored to have you here with us.
Prost.
Prost.
Delicious. But there's so little of it.
Mr. Dussel, I believe we know someone in common.
Ah.
Dr. Kinsler. We were friends back in the good old days in Frankfurt. I was wondering if you knew anything about him. What is it?
Dr. Kinsler was taken last month. Beethovenstraat. They took the whole block.
What is happening outside?
Tell us, Mr. Dussel.
All over Amsterdam, Jews are disappearing. Some are torn out of bed in the middle of the night. Oh my God. Screams. Children come home from school to find their parents gone. Women come back from shopping to find their families vanished. It is impossible to escape unless you go into hiding. Thousands are being deported. The Bloombergs, Professor Hollenstein.
God, no.
You have 5 minutes to get ready. Bring only what you can carry in a rucksack. Herd it into the Jewish theater for days, sometimes weeks, and then Westerbork, the transit camp. From there, like clockwork, every Tuesday, a train leaves for the east.
Mr. Dussel, do you know the Gosslers? Their daughter Hanley and I have been friends since we were 4. They didn't come for them, did they? Not Hanley, it can't be.
There was a family by the name.
No.
Edith, please. I'm sure Mr. Dussel needs to get settled before supper. I'm sorry we can't offer you your own room, but I trust you won't mind sharing one with my daughter.
Forgive me for upsetting you.
No, Mr. Dussel, you had to tell us. We had to know.
And why don't you show Mr. Dussel your room?
Meep, thank you for everything.
All that he said, so terrible, so different from what Mr. Kraler's been telling us.
I like it better the way Kraler tells it.
Well, here we are.
It isn't very big, is it?
I've never shared a room with a man before. I hope I'll be a suitable companion. I know you'll miss the woman you live with terribly.
Charlotte and I have never been apart. It all happened so quickly. I couldn't tell her where I was going. I didn't know myself.
You weren't supposed to. None of our friends knew. It would have been too dangerous. Not just for us, for them, and for Charlotte.
You're a very bright young lady. I hope you bear with me.
I hope you bear with me. I seem to irritate everyone around here. What's she like, your Charlotte?
Charming. Beautiful. You will like her. She's not Jewish, you know.
Oh, I know. Meep told us. That's my bed. That's Margaret's, where you'll be sleeping. I know it's small and dark in here, but if you peek through the blackout curtain, you'll see the most beautiful chestnut tree in the world. Can't wait till it's in blossom. So I hope the war will be over by then and we'll all be home. I was thinking about the room. Margaret always had it in the afternoons, and I had it in the mornings. Would that be all right with you?
Actually, I'm not at my best in the morning.
And then you take the mornings, and I'll take the afternoons. Will you bring your dental equipment? I can't wait to see it. I love those little mirrors. Will you be filling in our cavities?
It's very hard being a dentist, you know. Children don't understand that.
What do you mean?
No one likes to go to the dentist. Everyone makes fun of dentists. But believe me, it's no fun for us. Everyone hates us.
Awful.
Tell me something. When you're in here, where do I go? In there? With all those people?
And Mushi.
Who's Mushi?
Peter's cat.
Cat? No one mentioned a cat to me. He has it here?
You'll love Mushi. He's the sweetest cat in the world.
I hate cats. They're terrifying. They give me asthma.
Don't worry. Peter keeps him in his room all the time.
Let us hope so. By the way, Mr. Kraler spoke of a schedule.
It's mainly about when we have quiet and when we can use the WC. You can use it right now if you like.
No, thank you.
You don't know how important the WC can be when you're in hiding, especially when you're scared.
I understand. Oh, if you don't mind, I think I'll lie down before supper. It helps with the digestion.
Well, you rest, Mr. Zuko. I try and make you feel at home.
Good evening. This is Colin Reese Parker with the BBC Radio Europe, November 12th. German forces yesterday entered unoccupied France, acting quickly in an attempt to counter the sweeping Allied gains across the southern shore of the Mediterranean. Hitler sent armored columns and infantry to occupy Vichy France. The Vichy regime thereby came to an end, and with it, the final pretense that part of France was a free zone.
I couldn't sleep tonight, even after Father tucked me in and said my prayers with me. I feel wicked sleeping in a warm bed when my friends are at the mercy of the cruelest monsters to ever walk the earth, and all because they're Jews. We assume most of them are murdered. The BBC says they're being gassed. Perhaps it's the quickest way to die. Fine specimen of humanity, those Germans, and to think I'm actually one of them. No, it's not true. Hitler took her nationality away long ago. No matter what I'm doing, I can't help thinking about those who are gone. The whole world is waiting. All we could do is wait for the war to end. The whole world is waiting, and many are waiting for death. No! 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 Is it Tuesday? I don't want to get on the train.
For God's sakes, keep quiet.
I won't get on the train.
Shh! You get us all killed.
Darling, it's all right. You're here. You're safe. You were having a dream, my angel. It was just a dream.
These nightmares, Mrs. Frank, they're getting worse. I don't sleep anymore. I spend half my night shushing her.
Oh, Anne, little Anne.
Every night, Mrs. Frank, every night. She's putting us all in danger.
Angel, please, go back to bed. She'll be all right in a minute.
What happened?
Another nightmare.
Sounded like someone was murdering her.
Shall I get you some water? It was a bad dream, wasn't it, my angel? Do you want to tell me about it? Sometimes it helps to talk about the...
Mother.
I'll sit right here. Try to get some sleep. I'll sit right here till you fall asleep.
You didn't.
I see. Good night, then.
Would you ask Father to come in, please?
Edith.
It's all right, Otto. Go to her. She's still trembling.
It's a phase.
You weren't like this.
I'm more like you. It's not that Anne doesn't love you.
Oh, Pim! I dreamt they broke through the bookcase, took us all away. The train whistle, Pim. The train going to the east. Did I yell terribly loud? Do you think anyone heard outside? I know what you're thinking. but I can't help the way I feel. I just don't love her. We just don't get along. I hate being cooped up with her. I don't get along with anyone here. Oh, Pim, my nightmares. I know everyone hates me for having them, but I can't stop them from coming.
No, Anne. We're all having nightmares. Only you let them out. Your mother has them too, horrible ones. She's having a really hard time.
I know, Pim. I'm trying to change. I have another side, a better, finer side. But it's as if I'm split in half. What's good? What's bad, Pim? I don't know. I want to be better. But none of that means shutting myself off, hiding how I feel.
I understand. We've always understood each other, you and I. You know, you taught me something the day we came here.
Me?
Remember when we first arrived? How numb Margaret and your mother were? I was a wreck with worry. But that morning, you skipped around the room calling it an adventure. You showed me you could escape. Now, when I read my Dickens, it takes me into another world. In that world, I feel safe. You have something too. A diary. When I see you fill it up, I know you found your world in there. You're lucky, Anne.
Lucky?
You can write. You could put down all your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions down on paper. It's all right, Anne. The more planes, the sooner the war will end.
Shalom, Vacha, Jayan Vocheze, Rashamin, Onenu, Wala, Ko Israel, Mitchell.
Tonight, after the radio broadcast, Pim asked what was the first thing we wanted to do when we were liberated. For me, I'd be so thrilled I wouldn't know where to begin. I longed to be back in school with my friends, ride a bike, whistle, swim, laugh so hard it hurts. I wonder if anyone will ever not think about whether I'm Jewish and see me as a teenager badly in need of some good plain fun. Margaret said,
I want to go dancing, learn the latest step and go flying around the room in a new pair of dance shoes.
The movies. I'd love to go to a movie. Maybe a Western, if they ever decide to let us back in.
I'm longing for a real cup of coffee with cream and sugar. No, a whole pot full.
A bath, a hot bath, in a bathtub, luxuriating for hours. And Putty comes and soaps my back.
And Putty said,
Cream cakes. First thing out of here, I'm going to Burgos for cream cakes.
Charlotte, just to look at her, listen to her, for hours.
You know what I want? To pack a picnic lunch and take the family to the seashore. For the whole day.
What a beautiful menorah, Mr. Van Dam.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadikneh shel Chanukah.
Amen.
Amen. That was very moving.
Not over yet. There's still the song, presents.
Not this year.
No potato pancakes either.
No, don't remind me.
I make the best latkes you've ever tasted.
Please stop. I can't bear it.
Invite us all next year.
What's in the bag, darling?
Presents. Margaret, read yours out loud.
You never lose your temper. You never will, I fear. You're just so good, but if you should, put all your crosswords here. A new crossword puzzle book.
It's not new. It's yours. I rubbed it all out, but if you wait a while and forget, you can do it all over again.
Oh, Anne, it's wonderful.
Mrs. Van Dam.
It's beautiful. Well, what is it?
Shampoo. I mixed all the tiny pieces of soap with the last of my toilet water.
How sweet. Thank you, Anne.
This was all Anne's idea.
Or Mr. Van Dan. This is really something. Something you want more than anything in the world.
My goodness. I can't wait. I wonder what it is. A cigarette?
Pim found some old pipe tobacco in the pocket lining of his coat, and we made it. Well, Pim did, but it's real tobacco, I promise.
Well, we'll see. Thank you, Ed. I mean it. Truly.
Or Mother.
Here's an IOU. I promise to pay 10 hours of doing whatever you say.
Boy, I wish I had that little slip of paper. 10 hours. You wouldn't consider selling it, wouldn't you, Mrs. Frank?
Never. It's the best present I've ever had.
For Pim.
Man, I wasn't supposed to get anything. Oh.
I made it out of bits of wool I found. No one helped me. Not even Mother, not even Margaret. I knitted it in the dark after I got into bed.
And after writing that diary of hers, keeping me up half the night. Just kidding.
I'm afraid it looks better in the dark.
It looks perfect for me, sweetie. Thank you. I shall treasure it.
For Mushi.
Oh, and the ribbons from your ballet shoes.
They don't fit anymore anyway.
On behalf of Mushi, thank you. It's very sweet of you.
And from Miss Quack Quack. Go ahead, open it.
Are you sure nothing's gonna jump out and bite me?
Come on, what is it?
A razor. Meave got it for me. It's secondhand, but you really do need one now.
What for?
Look at his upper lip. He has a little something growing there.
There is? Well, put a little milk on it and let the cat lick it off.
Think you're funny, do you? Well, I like it. Thanks, Anne.
And last but never least, my roommate, Mr. Dussel.
You got something for me, Anne. Capsules. 2 capsules. This better not be poison.
Earplugs. They need to be thrashing around at night. I made them out of cotton and candle wax. Go ahead, try them, see if they work. Ready?
What?
Are you ready?
Oh my goodness. They go inside my head. Help! Help! I was joking. Thank you, Anne.
I love my present, Anne.
I don't know how she did it.
Wasn't it darling of her?
A real Hanukkah after all.
One more thing.
What?
Just one present. One.
Who for?
Sure, show us.
For your mother. For tonight.
My music box. Oh, what? Oh, how did you?
I saved it. I was hoping we wouldn't be here till Hanukkah, but, well, I brought it just in case.
This goes all the way back to my great-grandmother. Your father's an angel for saving it.
Why didn't you save anything of mine?
I saved you, didn't I?
Listen.
Look, Mushi loves this present.
Peter! He'll give me asthma!
What's the matter with you? Get that cat out of here!
Cat? What cat?
It doesn't have to be the cat. His clothes are enough.
Don't worry, we're getting rid of it.
Finally. Finally, you listen to me.
I'm not doing it for you, Dussel. I'm just sick of all those damn fleas. Out he goes.
Mr. Mandan, you can't do that.
That's Peter's cat. Peter loves that cat.
If he goes, I go.
So go. Go.
You're not going anywhere, and the cat's not going anywhere. Come, Mr. Dussel, sit. It's Hanukkah, everyone. It's a time of celebration. Come on, girls, sing the song.
Mao Tzu Yesu Asi.
Lehana Elishabeya.
Tikon Veste Filasi.
Pashom Todan. God.
God Almighty, do you hear anything?
I think they've gone.
The Gestapo?
Even for the Gestapo, they'd be up here by now.
Maybe it was a thief.
We gotta do something.
There's nothing to do.
I'm going down.
No, Father, someone could still be there.
Margaret, come back here.
Putty, where's our money? Maybe we could buy them all.
Still.
What, are we just gonna stay here until they come and drag us away? Putty, do something.
You keep still.
One, go get Father.
Quiet.
I'll go.
Sit down.
Please, please go.
Quiet, everyone.
It was a thief.
How do you know?
He ran off in such a hurry, he left the front door wide open. Took the cash box. But the noise must have scared him away. The danger's past. We're safe.
Maybe, but we're in even greater danger now.
Mr. Dussel, please.
Now someone knows we're up here.
Wait a minute. Why are you pointing at him? It was an accident. It could have happened to any one of us.
Do you mean to tell me you think that the thief is gonna go to the green police and say, I was robbing a place the other night and I heard a noise above my head? You really think he's gonna say that?
Yes, I do.
You're crazy.
I think someday he'll get caught and make a bargain with the Green Police. If they let him off, he'll tell them where some Jews are hiding. Maybe they'll even reward him. You know what Meep said. 7.5 guilders for every Jew found in hiding.
He's right.
Father, we can't stay here anymore. Please, Father, let's go. Let's just go.
Go?
Where would we go?
Into the street?
We're not leaving. We can't panic. If we panic, we're lost. We survived here for 6 months together. We're still going on. And Margaret, a song, please.
Mao
Sometimes I see myself alone in a dungeon, without father and mother, or I'm roaming the street, or the annex is on fire, or they come in the middle of the night to take us away. I know it could all happen soon. I see the 8 of us in the annex as we're a patch of blue sky surrounded by menacing black clouds. The perfectly round spot in which we stand is still safe. But the clouds are moving in on us. And the ring between us and the approaching danger is being pulled tighter and tighter. We're surrounded by darkness and danger, and in our desperate search for a way out, we keep bumping into each other. We look at the fighting down below and the peace and beauty above. But it's as if as the dark mass of clouds just shuts us off. We could go neither up nor down. It looms before us, an impenetrable wall trying to crush us, but not yet able to. I can only cry out and implore, oh, ring, ring, open wide and let us out!
Tumbala, 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 laika, tumbala, 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 la. Spiel balalaika, spiel balalaika, tumbalala. Steht der Bucher in der Tracht, Tracht in Tracht, der ganze Nacht. Weimen zu nehmen, in it verschämen, weimen zu nehmen, in it verschämen. Tumbala, 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 laika, tumbala, 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 la. Spiel balalaika, tumbala, laika, spiel balalaika, tumbala, la. Mädel, Mädel, ich will bei dir fragen, wo's kann wachsen, wachsen und regen, wo's kann brennen, in mit auf Herden, wo's kann bänken, weinen und tränen. Tumbala, 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 laika, tumbala, 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 la. Spiel balalaika, tumbala, laika, spiel balalaika. Sitzchen, Bänken, weinen und trären. Dumbala, 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 laika. Dumbala, 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 la. Spiel balalaika, dumbala, laika. Spiel balalaika, dumbala, la. Spiel balalaika, tumbalalaika, spiel balalaika, tumbalala. Spiel balalaika, tumbalalaika. Spiel balalaika. Tumbalaba. Wir singen Chiribim, Chiribom, Chiribim, bom, 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 Chiribim, Chiribom, Chiribim, bom, 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 Chiribiri, biri, 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 bim, bom, bom, Chiribiri, biri, 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 bom, Chiribim, bom, 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 bom. Lo, wir singen Kinderlacher, Seimerl zusammen, an Negendl, a Freilachen, mit Bertalach, was Gramen. Die Mami kocht a Lokschensupp mit Kasche in mit Knädlach. Kinder jontiv pieren, weil wir spielen sich in Dreidlach. Chiribim, chiribom, chiribim, bom, 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 chiribim, chiribom, chiribim, bom, 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 bom. Chiribiri, biri, 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 bim, bom, bom. Chiribiri, biri, 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 bom, chiribim, bom, 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 bom. Amul ist in the revenue gegangen hinterwegen. Mit Amul hegt uns die Kluchen in Gießen a Regen. Schreit der Rebbe zu der Chmare her auf Gießen Wasser. Seinen alle Zieden trinken a Reus, nur der Rebbe ist a Reus a Nasser. Chiribim, chiribom, chiribim, bom, 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 chiribim, chiribom, chiribim, bom, 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 bom. Chiribiri, biri, 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 bim, bom, bom. Chiribiri, biri, 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 bom, chiribim, bom, 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 bom. Men sucht das in den Städten hell im Leben nur nach Runem. Und wir sehen in die Kliege haben wir a schönem Punem. Die Helmer lachen, tuge Nacht, sie loch ist die Gaslunem. Du sucht schiff, der ist
Saturday, January 1st, 1944. A few days ago, another new year has begun, and we're in the middle of the great terror known as winter. We've been here 1 year, 5 months, and 25 days. We're all thinner, paler, and a lot hungrier. We've been plagued by medical problems. Everyone's always suffering from something. And although we can't call a doctor, our favorite dentist is never too far away.
I'm almost done, Mrs. Van Dam. If you could just hold on a little longer. If you stop complaining, perhaps I could finish sooner.
Ow!
Oh, Mrs. Van Dam, please. You got my instrument stuck in your tooth. Stop moving. You're making it go even further.
There, look, I got it.
I'm lucky. I've been healthy. In fact, I've been growing so much I can't fit into my shoes anymore, not to speak of anything else. And there's another change. Something happening inside me. Each time I get my period, and it's only been 3 times, I have a feeling that even with all the discomfort, I have a sweet secret. And despite the pain, I long for the time I'll feel that secret within me again. Sometimes when I lie in bed at night, I feel a terrible urge to touch my breasts and listen to the steady beating of my heart. Once, when I was spending the night at Jopi's, I can no longer restrain my curiosity about her body, which she always kept hidden from me. I asked her whether, as proof of our friendship, we could touch each other's breasts. She refused. I also had a terrible desire to kiss her, which I did. Every time I see a female nude, such as the Venus in my art history book, I go into ecstasy. Sometimes I find them so exquisite, I have to struggle to hold back my tears. And there's something about Peter. Whenever he looks at me with those eyes, I get this feeling that...
Meep!
Meep! Happy New Year!
Happy New Year.
You really should have at least one day of the year to yourself, but we love that you've come.
Oh, Meep, you smell like the wind itself.
How are you, Anne?
I wonder if you mind taking this letter from me? It's for Charlotte, for the New Year, Meep.
Of course.
Meep Shen.
Margaret, are you feeling any better?
A little.
Well, perhaps this will make you feel even better.
A cake! Putty, a cake!
Cake? I'll get the plates.
Keep your special spice cake.
Cake?
Spice cake, exactly. Your favorite.
Please, everybody's favorite.
Spice cake. Oh, Meep, what a treat. You must have used up all your rations for the week.
How sweet. She wrote peace in 1944.
Last year was peace in 1943.
Well, it has to come sometime, doesn't it?
Let's pray it will.
Here's the knife, Petronella. Now, how many of us are there?
None for me, thank you.
Oh, but you must.
Well, that leaves 7 of us.
8. 8! The same number as it always is.
I took it for granted Margaret wouldn't have it.
Why not?
I don't think a piece of cake would harm her.
It's just, I didn't want her to start coughing again. 8. 8, all right.
And please, Mrs. Frank should cut the cake. Mrs. Frank devised things better.
Are you saying I don't give everyone the exact same?
Yes. Everyone gets exactly the same, except your husband always gets a little bit more.
Just wait a minute.
Please, everyone. You see how little spice cake goes to our heads?
Here, Mrs. Frank, you cut.
It looks delicious, by the way.
Oh, that smell. Meep, you're sure you won't have a piece?
No, thank you. I have to leave in a minute.
Oh, Meep Shen. Jan is lucky to have a woman that can bake like this.
Jan, tell us about Jan.
Jan's taking me to a party tonight.
A party? Meep, you must remember everything so you could tell us about it tomorrow.
Tell us everyone you dance with, everything you eat, everything.
Jan, only with Jan. Oh, I seem to have forgotten something for someone.
For me?
What is it? I can't stand the suspense.
Oh, my. Meep, where did you find them?
Can't even get a slipper on the black market these days.
Incredible. And look, they match.
All grown up, ready for Hollywood.
Enjoy them, Anne. And don't worry, I'll give you all a full report tomorrow.
Meep, there's something I'd like you to do for me.
What is it, Putty?
You know exactly what it is.
What is it?
Wants to sell her for a coat.
No, you can't. This is my coat. My father gave me this coat. You have no right. Stop. Let it go, please.
Give it up.
Let it go.
You can't hold on to a fur coat when people are in such desperate need of warm clothing. Besides, we're broke. We've been running out of money for months. I have to sell it.
Mrs. Frank?
Oh, Meep. I remember when a new year was something to look forward to.
Mrs. Frank, you mustn't give up hope.
There's no hope to be had. I know that. I knew it the night that Hitler came to power when that voice came screaming out of the radio. I sat there paralyzed. And now, in London, what is the Dutch Queen doing? What are they all doing? Nothing. They're not even mentioning the word Jew. The trains are still leaving. Why don't they bomb the tracks? I can't talk about this with the others, Meep.
I understand, Mrs. Frank.
I know they're counting the days till the war is over, making plans, but I have to tell you, I feel the end will never come. Sometimes, sometimes I want to give myself up.
Forgive me for saying this, Mrs. Frank, but you must try and take things a little easier. They need you. The children need you.
I'm ashamed to feel this way. I know you and Mr. Kraler have it just as hard.
No, Mrs. Frank, we don't.
Thank you for listening to me.
Non, non, ce n'est pas ce que tu pensais.
Pense, monsieur dit-il, pense. From penser, to think. Ce que vous ne faites pas beaucoup.
What?
Ce que vous ne faites pas beaucoup.
You're going too fast.
Oui, je sais.
Je sais. I know that one.
Bon, continuons la prochaine page, s'il vous plaît.
I just don't understand. I would have never done anything like that to you.
Oath was 17 years old, for God's sake. Those skins had definitely seen their days.
That's not the point, and you know it.
I know we need the money. We have no money. Can you get it through your head?
Don't talk to her like that.
It's not. You don't understand.
What don't I understand? You have me and Peter.
So my coat, the whole world gone. Do you know how much my father that meant to me? It was my father who gave it to me.
Do we have to hear about your father again? If it wasn't for your obsession with the coat, the apartment, your father, we'd be in America by now!
Not her fault!
It was you two, you know. You wanted to go, you didn't want to go either, and I
only stayed because of you. Trust me, I knew which way the winds were blowing.
Oh, you know everything, don't you?
Mother, please, stop.
Your mother will never listen.
If I could just say one thing.
No, you cannot. You've said enough already, and it's none of your business anyway.
You shouldn't have said that, Mother.
What?
You've hurt her feelings.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I apologize to everyone.
You left this.
Thank you.
I'm sorry for what happened in there. I wish I could have said something. But they make me feel so... I can't stand it when they... Sometimes I wish I didn't belong to them at all. I just hope I never turn out like them.
You won't. I know it.
Like him. What if I'm like him?
Not. Believe me.
All I can say is, if it wasn't for you, I don't know. I mean, you've always been a big help to me.
I am? How?
When you're cheerful, it keeps me from feeling depressed.
I'm not always so cheerful, you know, inside.
Really?
It's hard. If you want to cry or something, there's nowhere to go.
It's easier for me, I guess. When there's a fight, you know, with my parents, I can just duck into my room.
You're lucky having a room of your own.
Well, at least you can talk to your parents.
Not really. I can never discuss anything serious with Mother. She just doesn't understand. I can talk about anything with Father, except Mother. I don't think you can really be intimate with someone if they hold something back. Do you?
I think your father's terrific.
He likes you too.
You think so?
I can tell from the little things he says. It's funny, isn't it?
What?
Well, we've been here for almost a year and a half, and this is the first time we've really talked.
I know what you mean.
You know something, Peter?
What?
I've never really had a friend. Not someone I could truly confide in.
Me neither.
The sun is shining. There's the sky is blue. There's a magnificent breeze, and I'm longing, so longing for everything. I walk from room to room, breathe through the crack in the window frame, feel my heart beating as if to say, can't you fulfill this longing at last? I long for every boy, And to Peter, I want to shout, say something. Don't just smile at me all the time. Touch me so I can get that delicious feeling inside me. I feel spring within me. I feel spring awakening. I feel it in my entire body and soul. I'm utterly confused. I don't know what to read, to write, to do. I only know I'm longing. March 29th, 1944. We've had to cut down even further on food. The rats have gobbled up some of our precious supplies. They must be desperate too. Our mouths are watering for anything edible. All we've had to eat this week is pickled kale and rotten potatoes. You wouldn't believe how much kale can stink when it's a few years old.
What is it tonight?
Don't ask.
I have to. I have to be prepared.
On top of it all, every meal there's been a political discussion ending in some terrible fight. But last night, something even more terrible happened.
My God, I can't eat this again!
Something wrong, Mr. Dussel. Why don't you try cooking for a change instead of insulting my wife?
I think you prepared the kale very well, Mrs. Van Dam. I don't know how you do it.
Oh, the soul of politeness.
Every night another miracle.
Excuse me.
Careful, Mr. Dussel. We don't want to clog the pipes like last week.
Pretty please.
What's wrong, Margaret? You're not eating. Eat. You have to eat.
I'm not hungry.
If she doesn't want it, Peter will eat it.
Margaret, just take a bite.
I can't. I just can't.
She eats like a bird. Look at her, every day a smaller bird. I'm trying my best, Margaret.
I'm sorry, Miss Van Dam. It's just...
Peter's eating, Anne's eating.
How do you do it, Anne?
I pretend it's delicious, don't look at it, and before I know it, it's gone.
Very wise, Attica.
I eat because I'm hungry.
Margaret, you've got to force yourself to eat. You're too thin.
She's not the only one. We're all famished.
Will this war ever be over?
This war would be over a lot sooner if the Continental British would start the invasion.
Oh my goodness, can we please not talk about it tonight?
British are fighting for their lives.
They'll do something when the time is right.
When we're dead and buried, you mean? It's amazing how strong those Germans are.
Oh, it's amazing. The British are so strong. My God, the Germans are so strong. They're gonna win the war. Is that what you mean?
They might. They very well might, if the British don't start invading.
They are moving, for crying out loud. Were 3,000 tons of bombs dropped on Hamburg last Sunday not enough for you?
No.
Well then, how many are enough?
Enough so we don't have to worry about going to Poland.
Hurry up, Mr. Dussel. Margaret's waiting.
Mr. Dussel?
For God's sake, hurry!
Any longer.
Mr. Dussel, come on!
Mr. Dussel, the line is forming again.
All right, you think I like spending my life in there?
Mr. Kraler.
Sorry to come up at this hour, but something's happened. Something serious.
What? What is it?
I must ask all of you to be more careful, more quiet.
What's happened?
A man in the storeroom, Carl, he asked me, "What do you hear from Mr. Frank?" I said I'd heard a rumor that you were in Switzerland, and he said he thought he heard that too, but thought I knew something more. But today, while signing some invoices he brought to the office, I looked up and saw him staring at that bookcase.
Oh, God.
He said he thought he remembered a door there, and he wanted more money. 10 more guilders a month.
Blackmail.
10 guilders? It's very modest blackmail.
It's just the beginning.
What did you tell him?
I said I had to think about it. Should I give him the money? Take a chance on fire?
For God's sakes, pay him the money!
Offer him half. We'll see if it's blackmail or not.
Look! Maybe he knows nothing. But it's getting more dangerous every day out there. No one can be trusted. You all must be more quiet. More quiet. I'll offer him half then.
Thank you, Mr. Kraler.
We'll hope for the best.
Thank you.
Mother, don't be upset. I can't bear it seeing you like this.
I'm all right, Attica, please. Go back to supper.
I'd rather stay here with you.
And now, a message from the Dutch Minister of Education. History cannot be written on the basis of official documents alone. If our descendants are to understand what we as a nation have endured during these years, we need simple, everyday pieces. A diary, letters from a forced laborer in Germany.
After such a terrible evening, something wonderful happened. Something amazing. Mr. Bolkestein, our cabinet minister, speaking on the Dutch broadcast from London, said that a collection of diaries and letters would be made after the war. Imagine how interesting it would be if I were to publish a novel called The Secret Annex. It could be based on my diary. I'll start revising it tomorrow. Unless you write yourself, you can't know how wonderful it is. When I write, I shake off all my cares. But I want to achieve more than that. I want to be useful and bring enjoyment to all people, even those I've never met. I want to go on living even after my... You're not jealous of Peter and me? I'd be insanely jealous if it were you instead of me.
Yes, I imagine you would be, but I'm not.
Aren't you, Margaret? Tell me the truth.
Who wouldn't want someone to visit every night and have deep, serious conversations with? And who knows what else? Yes, I'm jealous, but not of you and Peter. I just want someone of my own. I'm happy that you have someone.
You mean it?
I mean it. I want you to have fun tonight, every night. You've already spent so much time here. It's so awful.
Oh, Margaret, you're such a generous person. Anyway, maybe there's nothing to be jealous of. We don't do anything. I mean, you never even kissed me.
The kiss will come.
I'm not sure I want it to.
Oh, you do. I know you. You can't help yourself. It's in your nature. Wait, your hair. Here. And you gotta loop it, and then almost there. Now you're perfect.
I presume I may finally go back to my room.
Our room, dear Mr. Dussel, and yes, you may return.
Thank you so much.
And again.
Again, and look at her.
You better bundle up. It's cold in the attic.
In my day, it was the boys who called on the girls.
Young people like to feel they have secrets. The attic's the only place they can talk.
Talk? That's not what they called it in my day.
I think true love may be developing in our little annex.
We might have ourselves a little annex wedding soon.
Frankly, I can't stand this stupid chatter another minute. And don't forget to be down by 9.
They're so old-fashioned. I guess they don't realize how much more advanced we are. Did you... What? You like them?
You look nice.
Really?
I like the shoes. I've always liked the shoes.
Meep always does everything just right.
She likes you a lot.
I love her, but I hate having to ask for absolutely everything. Doesn't it make you miserable being so dependent on other people?
I'm not miserable anymore. I mean, even bumping into you in the stairs sometimes I
feel the same.
You know, you've changed. I used to think you were a real pain in the neck.
My life before seemed so unreal. I see myself then as an utterly superficial girl who has nothing to do with who I am now. I wouldn't go back to being her for the world.
You sure know a lot about yourself, don't you? I guess it comes from all that writing you do.
I want to be a real writer one day. I know I can write. I'm my harshest critic, but who knows if I truly have talent or not? What do you want to do?
I don't know. Some kind of job that doesn't take much brains. Maybe if I had your drive.
That's ridiculous.
No, it's true. I'm a complete idiot.
You're too hard on yourself.
I didn't have much going for me on the outside.
Maybe if you'd gone to my school. Oh, Peter. I miss so many things. Don't you? Sometimes I dream I'm back in our old apartment. I wake up and I don't know where I am. And I wonder, why can't I just run outside? You can see the moon from here, just like you said. How beautiful. Look at our attic, the moonlight coming in.
Are you cold?
No. Well, maybe just a little.
Here.
Peter, have you ever kissed a girl?
I guess so.
You have? When?
It wasn't a big deal or anything.
Tell me.
It was on my birthday. I was blindfolded. I didn't even know who the girl was.
There's nothing wrong with being kissed or anything, though I'm sure Margaret would never kiss a boy unless she were engaged to him. And I know Mother never touched a man before she met Pim. My girlfriends would say, "Oh, Anne, how terribly shocking." But who cares what they'd say anyway? Everything's different now, here.
You called it our attic before. Do you really think it's ours?
Yes.
You won't let them stop you from coming up here, will you?
No, I promise. Maybe I'll bring one of my stories and read it to you sometime.
You'll come tomorrow night?
If you want me to.
I do.
It's 9:05.
Well, I will then.
All Jews must be out of the German-occupied countries before July 1st. The province of Utrecht will be cleansed of Jews between April 1st and May 1st, and the provinces of North and South Holland immediately thereafter. Immediately thereafter. Immediately thereafter. Immediately thereafter. Immediately thereafter. Immediately thereafter.
Autumn, listen, the rat.
Edith, please go back to sleep.
My God, I don't believe it. The bread. He's stealing the bread. Otto, look.
Oh, no, quiet.
Herman, for God's sake.
Is it? What's going on?
It's your husband stealing our bread.
It can't be. Buddy, what are you doing?
Nothing.
It wasn't a rat. It was him.
Never before. Never before.
I don't believe you. If he steals once, he'll steal again. Every day I watch the children getting thinner, and he comes in the middle of the night and steals food that should go to them.
Oh my God.
Edith, please.
Mama, it was only one piece of bread.
Here.
You know, it could happen to any one of us.
I want him to go.
Go? Go where?
Anywhere.
You don't know what you're saying.
I understand you, Mrs. Frank, but it would be impossible for them to just
They
leave.
have to. I can't take it with them here.
Edith, you know how upset you've been these past
That
couple
has nothing to do with it.
We're all under terrible strain. It won't happen again.
Never. I promise.
I want them to go.
You put us out on the streets?
There are other hiding places. Meep will find you something. Don't worry about the money. I'll find you the money.
Mr. Frank, you said you would never forget what my husband did for you when you first came to Amsterdam.
If my husband had any obligation to you, it's paid for.
Edith, for God's sake, I've never seen you like this before.
You can't throw Peter out. He hasn't done anything.
Peter can stay.
I wouldn't feel right without Father.
Please, Mother, they'll be killed on the street.
Anne's right. You can't send them away.
They can stay till Meep finds them a place, but we're switching rooms. I don't want him near the food.
Okay, let's divide it up right now.
You're not going to divide up some rotten potatoes.
Mrs. Frank? Mr. Frank?
Mr. Dussel,
Margaret?
please.
Anne?
Don't.
Peter?
No more.
Mrs. Van
No
Dam?
more, Mr. Dussel.
Mrs. Van
I
Dam?
can't bear it,
Myself?
please.
All this happening.
Mr. Frank?
Enough! Enough! Margaret, Mr. Dussel, Edith, go back to your rooms. Come, Edith. Mr. Dussel, I think the potatoes can wait.
Are you sure, Mr. Frank?
Just let them wait. Meep, at this hour?
Everyone, the most wonderful, incredible news.
What is it?
The invasion. The invasion has begun. Did you hear me? Did you hear what I said? The invasion. It's happening right now. I rushed to tell you before the workmen got here. You can feel it in the streets, the excitement. This is it. They've landed on the coast of Normandy.
The British?
British, Americans, everyone. More than 4,000 ships. Look, I brought a map.
For over a year, we've prayed for this moment.
Cherbourg, the first city. They're fighting for it right now.
How many days will it take them from Normandy to the Netherlands?
Edith, what did I tell you?
Caen, there's Ponte de Vesc, Paris, and then Amsterdam!
Buddy!
Herman, didn't you hear what Meep said? We'll be free soon.
Oh, we can listen to the radio.
Peter, turn the radio.
People of Western Europe, a landing was made this morning on the coast of France by troops of the Allied Expeditionary Force. This landing is part of the concerted United Nations plan for the liberation of Europe.
It's General Eisenhower.
Made in conjunction with our great Russian allies, I have this message for all of you. Although the initial assault may not have been made in your own country, the hour of your liberation is approaching. All patriots.
Can you believe it? The invasion! Home. That means we could be going home.
I don't even know what home would be like anymore. I can't imagine it. We've been away for so long.
Oh, I can. I can imagine every little detail. Just to be outside again. The Sky Market, just to walk along the canal.
I'm afraid to let myself think about it. To have a real meal. It doesn't seem possible. Will anything taste the same? Look the same? I don't know if anything will ever feel normal again. How can it? How can we go back? Really? Do you know what I decided? I want to be a nurse for newborns and go far, far away.
How far?
Maybe, I don't know, maybe to Palestine. Maybe you'll go back to school in October. September, even. Wouldn't that be something, Annika? Come here.
Buddy, you know what I was just thinking? You won't believe this, but I was thinking about that day we first met. You were running around with the other boys in Bremerhaven. I picked you right out, you know? You were the one that made me laugh and laugh. That afternoon, you took me on the ferry. And at first, you made me laugh, but then you started to kiss me and kiss me. And the kisses were even better than the laughter. You remember? You gave me so many that the ferryman kept watching, and the ferry went off course. That made me laugh even more. And when we got off, you made that little restaurant open its doors, and you ordered almost everything on the menu. But an appetite, the waiter said, the man can really eat. We'll get back on that ferry one day, Teddy. I promise. It won't be long now, and soon I'll be cooking all your old favorites. Sour gratin with red cabbage, potato pancakes with your cherished applesauce. We could even have cream cakes from Berkoff's. But until then, Teddy, if you're hungry, hold on to me. Hold me, Teddy.
Just as I was falling asleep, my friend Hanneli suddenly appeared before me, dressed in rags, her face thin and worn. She looked at me with such sadness in her enormous eyes that I could read the message in them. Oh, Anne, why have you deserted me? Help me, rescue me from this hell. If only I could. Why have I been chosen to live and she to die? Oh, Hanneli, if only I could take you in, share everything I have with you. I hope if you live to the end of the war and return to us, I'll be able to take you in. Are you still alive? I keep seeing your enormous eyes. I keep seeing myself in your place. You're a reminder of what my fate might have been. What will we do if we ever... No! I mustn't write that down. But the question won't let itself be pushed to the back of my mind. All the fear I've ever felt is looming before me in total, absolute horror.
And so we come to the end of this broadcast from BBC Radio Europe. Till tomorrow, listeners. And we all know, no matter how hard the times and how heavy the separation, we are once more a day closer to the liberation.
Strawberries, there's nothing I love more.
I can't understand you. Your mouth's too full.
I wouldn't talk if I were you. You haven't stopped eating since we came up.
That's a lie. You're the one who's being eaten in the mall. Look at you. You're all red.
Look at you. They're all over your shirt.
I'll tell you one thing. It's a lot better than shelling those peas yesterday.
Ugh, green, green, green. I thought they'd never end.
Every string I pulled made me certain I never want to be just a housewife.
You never will be.
I forgot how wonderful they are.
Of course you forgot. We haven't seen a strawberry in 2 years.
Careful, buddy. You know how sick you were last night from the kale soup.
I'm just worried there won't be any left for jam, but those 3 up in the attic.
Mr. Dussel, you're such a worrier. Let the children enjoy themselves. Oh, these are good.
I'll tell you something. Every night, I think they're coming. They're coming. Our liberators.
I bet you'll both forget about me when you're back with all your old friends.
Most of our friends are gone, Peter.
But we won't forget you.
Ever.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. When we get out of here, I'm going to make damn sure nobody knows I'm Jewish again.
What?
I'm serious. Life would be a whole lot easier if I were a Christian.
You mean you'd be baptized?
No. Maybe.
I never turn back on who I am. I couldn't. Don't you realize, Peter? You'll always be Jewish in your soul.
I've never seen anything stop you from talking before.
To wonder I haven't abandoned all my ideals. They seem so absurd and impractical. Yet I cling to them because I still believe, in spite of everything, that people are really good at heart.
Schnell! Los!
Los!
Weg!
Schnell!
It's utterly impossible for me to build my life on a foundation of chaos, suffering, and death. I see the world slowly being transformed into a wilderness. I hear the approaching thunder, which will destroy us too. I feel the suffering of millions.
Schon der Deck! Schnell!
Westerbork, barren heath, wooden towers where our jailers stand guard, walls covered with thousands of flies. The 8 of us crammed into prison barrack 67. Betrayed. We never know by whom. Our last month together. Anne and Peter walking hand in hand between the barracks and barbed wire. Edith worrying about the children, washing underclothing in murky water. Numb. Margaret, silent, staring at nothing. Our last days on Dutch soil. Late August, Paris freed. Brussels, Antwerp. But for us it is too late. Tuesday, September 3rd, 1944. 1,000 of us herded into cattle cars. The last transport to leave Westerbork for the extermination camp. The train. 3 days, 3 nights. In the middle of the 3rd night. House switch. Separation. Men from women. Edith. Margaret. Anne. My family never again. Selection. Half our transport killed in the gas chambers. One day, Peter and I see a group of men march away. His father among them. Gassed. Peter on the death march to Mauthausen. Died 3 days before the British arrived. His mother? Auschwitz, Bergen-Belsen, Buchenwald, Dresdendat. Date of death unknown. Mr. Dussel dies in Ningam. January 27th, 1945. I am freed from Auschwitz. I know nothing of Edith and the children. And then I realized Edith died in Birkenau. Grief, hunger, exhaustion. Winter of 45, typhus breaks out in Bergen-Belsen, killing thousands of prisoners. Market among them. Anne's friend Hanneli sees Anne through the barbed wire, naked, her head shaven, covered with lice. Don't have anyone anymore, she weeps. A few days later, Anne dies. My daughter's bodies dumped into mass graves just before the camp is liberated. And all that remains